Okay. Sorry about that. Hold on. I still gotta check what's going on with the side cam. Oh, side cam is good. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. I have no idea what caused that. I haven't had that happen before. Basically, I have a power strip and a USB hub that I velcroed to the bottom of my table, and I figured one of the wires just got loose or something. Um, but let me double check that the audio is. Looks like my mic is working, so I'm not just talking to myself right now. Yeah, you guys should be able to hear me again. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I'm pretty sure. Uh, oh, lowered the desk. Maybe that strained a cable in a way. That actually could have been the problem. I just switched up the ports a little bit, and for some reason that seemed to get the job done for now. But anyways, okay. What was I gonna do? Let me get my in-ears going again. Sorry about that, y'all. Yo, also, everyone in my city is struggling with ice dams, and I'm not super familiar with this. I haven't owned a house when the conditions have been right, weather-wise, for something like this to happen. But we've had the gnarliest icicles forming around the house. There were some that were like 3 feet. That's not 3 feet, right? There was some this big hanging in front of the awning in front of our door. Treacherous. And this morning I was shoveling some snow. We've been having some crazy snowfall here, and there's a little sidewalk between my house and the neighbors, and our gutters are just covered in icicles that literally look like something out of that Final Destination series. It's like, I swear I'm gonna get hit by one of these icicles and my album will never get released, and people will just have to hear my album posthumously. Man, I'm so jealous of your winter. It was 13 degrees Celsius here. So what is that? I think it's times 2 plus 22 or something, right? So it's like 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Does that sound about right? I think that's still winter. 55. Okay, I was kind of close. But that's still winter weather-ish. Hold on. Hey Siri, what temperature is it outside? Oh wait, Siri. What Alexa, what temperature is it outside?
Right now, it's 33 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight,
Okay.
expect a low of 29 degrees.
So it's like 20 degrees lower. Here. But yeah, honestly, this is like, these last couple days have been a bit warmer than they were before. Anyways. So what the hell was I doing? I forgot. Then we got the cams working now, right? Can I harass you with the chord progression? Yeah, man. Go ahead. Man or woman, or, it's just an expression. Try not to step on people's toes when I say stuff like that. It is kind of weird talking to people and not like, all I know is people's usernames, and like so much of the like casual lingo has some kind of like a gender attribution, Like when I'm hanging out with my like any guy friends, it's always man, dude. But then there's also guys, and I say guys to, what's up, guys? Like if there's women too, or anyone really. All right. All right. What is this? G flat 6 add 9 over C sharp A flat 9 over C. A flat 9 over C. A flat minor 9 over B. Okay, we're doing some chromatic movement here. I like it. And then G flat 6 add 9 over A sharp. G flat 6 add 9 over A sharp. I like that one. A flat 9 over G sharp. A flat, well, hold on, what am I doing here? A flat 9. Over G sharp. A flat minor over A flat minor 9 over E. A flat minor 9 over E. Ooh, that's an interesting chord. Huh, that's an interesting chord progression. Would take me a moment to kind of wrap my head around it. Right hand repeats. I do like it though. Sounds like something I would enjoy. Yo, have any of you guys been checking out some of these interviews with Ludwig Göransson, I think is his name? Guy who did the Oppenheimer score, did a bunch of other really cool stuff. But there's been some interviews that have been circling the internet. I saw kind of like a summary or like a compilation of different interviews with him, and it's pretty cool to hear his life story. But he's also just got some of the coolest scores. I did not know that he studied under Theodore Shapiro, who he scored like things like Tropic Thunder, I just found out, but he also scored Severance, which I'm obviously in love with. So he's kind of like a gangster. Also did a bunch of Childish Gambino, yep. What's that extremely famous Redbone, right? Okay, so a couple things I'm just going to throw out there for this stream. I probably won't be playing too much piano. A, because of my wrist, and B, because I have this weird cut on my finger that has been a recurring issue. I think the dryness keeps kind of like reopening it, which is kind of gross. But why don't we try to focus on just doing some production instead of playing today. Take care of yourself. Yeah, definitely. Actually, it definitely has something to do with dryness, but I don't know if you guys experience this at all. I mean, it gets extremely dry here, so that certainly has something to do with it. But apparently over lotioning can also cause that. So, I'm trying to chill. I mean, it's not like I'm lathering myself in lotion, 5 times a day, but I mean, I definitely use lotion like once a day, I would say, and not like my entire body. Usually like my arms or something. Why am I talking about this? Anyways. iOS crazy dry. Yeah, I feel like maybe it's just the thing right now. I've been having headaches too because I'm getting like so dehydrated. I honestly kind of love this riff. I was just throwing random loops on top of this, but you know they're clashing a little bit. Why don't we kind of isolate some of these perks and get rid of the we just don't need to have bigger transients in there. Weather-related eczema? Yeah, honestly, I've also struggled with eczema a lot, and it's kind of like, it feels a little bit like some kind of term, like an umbrella term that encompasses like a lot of different issues. So sometimes I don't know, people have skin issues, and then it's basically like, oh yeah, that's eczema. But it can be so many different things. I'm trying to think about what I'm hearing for the low end, but I'm not entirely sure. Forgot about whatever that patch was supposed to be. Let's take a look at actually let's make something from scratch. Why not? I need the practice right now. I like that take. All right, what are we doing with this? I think there is a patch, something kind of ethereal that might be fun to throw in here. Don't remember what it was called. What a gorgeous pad. Yeah, the diffuser is sick. So I noticed it in another patch, because I was kind of like, you know, whenever you find a patch that you think is cool, it's fun to dissect it a bit. And I did not know about that diffuser filter option. It's really cool. Basically does the same kind of like filter or phase sweep movement stuff that Disperser does, but inside of Serum, which is really nice. Why don't we try to map this in a way where we can easily find the parameter later? So I think that means... do we need to group these? Hold on. Let me check something here. So if I click map, yeah, that doesn't even show up. This is one thing that does get a little confusing in Ableton sometimes, to me, at least visually, is just like the grouping mechanisms can be a little confuzzling. So I think if I Control G this entire thing, let's see, what can I map now? Can I map anything in here? To take this. Oh no, that didn't work. Or did it work? It didn't. Let's undo that. You'd think after using Ableton for 10 years, I'd know how to do this, but honestly, it doesn't come up very often in my workflow. So anyways, let's go and reduce the range here a bit. Okay. And then we can basically just copy this over. We'll go like that. No, that doesn't work either. Maybe I have to skip that one. Let's see if this works. Ooh, yeah, here we go. All right. And then we can bring it all the way to the front, I think, now by clicking on it and... well, never mind. Huh. Why can... Oh, man, there's another layer of grouping inside of this. I think... I know this seems like a waste of time, which maybe it is. Let's be real. Whatever. I'll just use this. This feels like it'll be easy enough to find again. Let's see. What's up, XM3? How you doing? Maybe we use a different patch just in that downbeat. I think it might be kind of cool. Let's snag one of my little bass patches here. Oh, that's right. I gotta select the MIDI, make sure it's matching. There we go. Maybe we only use it on that one first downbeat. Is this an octave too high? You know what? That feels a bit low, so why don't we just select all of the MIDI here? Or I forget how you do this. I think I could go like this. 14 clips selected. Wait, no, I think I go like this. 2 clips selected. You know what? I'm just gonna start with these two. And let's go up 3. See how that sounds. For some reason, it sounds like darker to me. It sounded more playful in the other key. I don't know why. Normally, I'm not really the kind of person that feels a big difference between different keys. Ooh, wait. Kind of like this one. So I think that's only 2 semitones higher. Let's go ahead and try that for the time being. Doing good, man. Just seeing what jam you're working on. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just picking something random up that I started on Sunday. Not sure where to take it quite yet. automate some movement on this EQ. Just something small. Oh, this is an OG serum patch. Let's see. I think I need to open this up a little bit. Cool. Now we can try to pitch up the this vocal thing. 2 semitones. I think some guitar would be fun on this, actually. It's been laying on the ground next to me for a few days. Let's bust it out. Guitar. Let's grab a an effect change to basic one. Let's grab this one. Hopefully it's still in tune. Ish. Oftentimes I'm too lazy to switch the key. I don't blame you. I think I need to find a tone that will kind of match the feeling here. So let me mute all the synths for a moment. I'll just loop the drums. It's a bit too dreamy. Wow, that was adding a lot of volume to that guitar. That's pretty crazy. Hold on. I think there might be something weird going on with the side chain. I need to double check that. Where is... Oh, it's coming from the dummy. Huh. Let's see, is the dummy... Wait, what? What the hell? Oh, huh, okay, interesting. Maybe we don't sidechain it for the time being. It was just kind of throwing me off a little bit. So let's just go instruments. Okay, now it's a bit loud. Try to get the bass line in again for the time being. Yeah, gate is kind of making it sound a little weird. Actually, I kind of like this one. Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm struggling with, actually. I think it might be some kind of electrical issue. There's a lot of noise coming through this guitar. I mean, I just got it repaired, so I don't think it has anything to do with the guitar itself, but yeah, there's a decent amount of noise kind of coming through it, so... But, that being said, kind of want to put an infiltrator on here again. Just experiment with this a little bit. This could boost the volume, though, so I'm going to kind of preliminarily turn this down. Guitar. That's kind of nice. I like that, but it's a little bit too delay-y. Let's make it a little bit more clean. Where's that reverb coming from? Compress, delay, turn that off. Delay, reverb. There we go. All right, let's get that synth back in here. Back to the intro, see how it sounds there. I kind of like that. Why don't we try to record it? Just wanted to record a little extra something there to use later. I think it could be cool. Let's try to use one of these takes. it's not the right mood, but still fun to have there. We could potentially like chop it up, maybe be more useful if it's more sparse. Because right now it's kind of sitting on top of everything. Maybe we could add a little fill here to... Let's do a simple, really simple. Could actually add a pre-clap there. Reminds you of some Wii music. I'll take it. I'll take it. I never got into the Wii, but it's pretty legendary from what I've heard. I feel like it's not nearly as big of a console now compared to what it used to be. I remember, actually, now that I think about it, I feel like back when the Wii came out, it was definitely a pretty revolutionary like console. The whole idea of like using the 3D space of the console, tracking its movements and stuff to play games was really cool. Kind of surprised there. I guess like VR kind of took over that space now that I think about it. But I bet the Wiis are still out there. Virtual boxing. Nice. Maybe it could get progressively funkier, like after we've kind of exposed the synth riff, we can keep building on it with... What the? I thought that was a notification for a sec. I forgot about this. The synth. I was like, suddenly I'm transcending to another dimension. Don't know how that happened. I think some OTT would sound nice on this. The gate will prevent, I think, the sound from being horrible. I like those chords. I like that. See, why didn't it record that downbeat? What's going on here? I'm definitely like hearing it getting pretty upbeat, but I'm not quite sure how to make the production match what I'm hearing. I think I need to get some pre-claps going in here. I mean, just for fun, I'm gonna throw in a trillion in here. Instrument VSTs. We got the trillion. I feel like it's a lot of fun to just have that synth riff just kind of hanging out in the background. It feels like it's fun to just hear the context of it evolve as like different chord progressions and stuff kind of come and go. I think those chords sound cool. It's cool. It's kind of a cool little riff too. Let's actually duplicate the trillion here because there's one of the trillion bases. I think it's called Chapman Stick, I think. This one sounds cool when it's polyphonic. I actually kind of like the sound of the other one better. Hold on. Let me duplicate this little groove section here. Yo, thank you for the follow, Jaskushi. Cool. Well, there's definitely something to it. I just don't really know how to arrange all these different ideas yet. So why don't I take a second to just record this little this polyphonic bass thing. Could be a cool intro, maybe. I don't know. What's up, DJ Casmo? I don't know. Sometimes I have this issue where I end up throwing a bunch of paint at the canvas, and then I'm like, I don't know how to arrange all of the colors and their locations in a way that makes sense to me at the moment. So maybe I'll just kind of like create a render for myself to listen to at a later point in time. Something that feels at least somewhat coherent and enjoyable. I kind of like... I don't mind starting it like this too. Actually, now that I'm hearing it like that, I'm kind of thinking, why don't we build it up some more? Let's try it like this. And then we can just go into a groove after that, and kind of remove the synth from the track from the time being, and try to build it back in later. So let's see, how are we gonna do that? I kind of like the idea of... Yeah, hold on. Let's quantize these. And then we can go into just like a groove here. Just kind of establish some of the danceability factor potentially. And then it could pop back in here, maybe. Lower octave. And then we break it back down. Maybe introduce that different chord progression. Slightly more kind of a little more ethereal versus just upbeat. What the? There's all these random sounds in here. I forgot what I was doing with this. This track makes you feel like a neon cat. I dig that. That's a different vibe, though. Kind of a cool idea. I don't know if it fits here, but hold on. Try something out here. Huh. Why does it feel like it's off? Off the grid. Hold on. I mean, that looks like it should be right on the downbeat. Huh. It's actually pretty challenging to play this on time for some reason. But it kind of creates a cool effect at times. Actually, maybe the legato is causing part of that problem. Let's check this out again. This is like inspiring me to get my MIDI. I have this MIDI foot pedal. I really want to link that to this cutoff. That would be so cool for this synth. It's my hands. I want to use both of my hands, and I don't want to give one up to be able to open the filter. But controlling it manually is really fun. I wonder if I could do like let's try the triplet, see what that sounds like. It's cool. I don't know if the triplet is necessary for that, but it does sound really cool when you have all these different, slightly different timed notes triggering the filter movement, especially when it's like the lower cutoff, like around here. Woo. Hold on. I'm just exploring all sorts of random stuff here, so why don't I add a bunch of extra measures here? Part of me was wondering what this would sound like if we just had the quarter note hits on the drums, no offbeat hi-hat stuff. Let's try it like this with the triplet on the stuff on the chords. mean, it's a totally different vibe than... I don't know if there's a way to really reconcile that with this. The I mean, we could just go triplet here for no reason. I will suggest, just in general, the idea of doing something with triplets like that does seem really fun, though, regardless of whether it makes sense in this track or not. I like it. Why don't we duplicate it and we'll do something. Let's add an OTT here. Maybe we can add some velocity to the cutoff as well. That's a classic move. Let's try that. fun to just like jam on because of the all those notes triggering their individual LFO cutoffs. It's really, really fun. I kind of want to hear like I want to start hearing some hi-hats on this. Let's find some, I think some really tight Oliver loop will probably be what I'm looking for. Let's take a look. No. Modern. It's a cool loop, but no. Drum loops. Let's see. 80s pop. Kick snare combos. I need to, not really finding what I'm looking for at the moment, but damn. Maybe I should just look up individual one-shots instead. Let's see. Hold on, this one might be closer to what I'm looking for. Switch the grid. I don't want it to sound like the same sound. How did you organize your splice samples like that? I'm not sure exactly what you mean. They're just in a folder. Oh, wait. If you're asking, I mean, I think I just copied over all the samples into a custom location. Maybe that's what you mean. kind of fun, but the patch needs to, I think, kind of be fine-tuned if this is kind of where the jam is going. It's kind of crazy, the variety in like textures and things you can get out of just like this one little patch. It's so simple. There's like nothing to it. But all the variation, the little variations in the each note's like cutoff position based on the velocity and stuff, it's just fun. Okay, well now we have a totally different idea. Maybe I'll just save this as a different project file. I'll name it 925. Let's call it Triplet thing. Maybe we can try to figure out a way to start off this idea. Actually, some aftertouch would be so cool on this, but I still have yet to find a good replacement for my nectar. Why don't we start off with like just a hi-hat on quarter note hi-hats. Try to like hide the triplet effect a little bit, at least with the drum sounds. Yeah, I think I just want to just try to keep emphasizing just the downbeats at first, and like try to slowly build into the drums actually playing like that full tripleted feel. I think that it kind of helps to progress the energy, to kind of stage it a little bit more like that. So why don't we do like a, like a 32. Oh wait. Let's get rid of the vocal samples for now. It'd be kind of cool if it maybe switched up there to a slightly different chord progression, but I kind of like this general, the general kind of outline. So let's start from here and just kind of like record something, and I think I know roughly what I want to do. We gotta follow up. Subscriber. Go. Yo, thank you for the sub. Why did the MIDI record like that? Thank you for the sub, Axter Typo. Appreciate it. And Genre Fluid, thank you for the follow. Hold on, let me record this again. It might be kind of cool to have like an actual lead section here. I'm kind of hearing some almost R&B-esque things happening in terms of like not sound wise, but like the pitch movements. Where is it? Let's get a little bit of reverb on this real quick. I gotta kind of like own it on this section a little bit here because this is obviously sounding pretty rough. I like the general idea though. I think this section could happen another time with these drums here. Maitre d', it's French for someone who works front of house. Oh, no. Wait, how did I never know that? I know I just skipped that part of your name, by the way, because I was like, I don't know how to say that. But thanks for the clarification there. Sounds amazing so far. Thank you. Appreciate it. Might have to separate these into different synths. Okay. Well, there's some ideas in here that are really fun. I don't know the last time that I've worked in a triplet vibe, so I think that's part of the reason why it's kind of entertaining me at the moment. Maybe we could let's start duplicating this synth. This is something that I really like doing. If I have like some kind of sound design that feels like it'll be central to the song, which I think there's some aspects of this synth that I really like. It's nice to just like duplicate it and start experimenting with some little variations with it. That's not something unique to me, of course. Plenty of people do that, but it's just a nice way to keep the sound design feeling a little bit more consistent, like it's kind of part of the similar space world. So let's separate this little intro thing. And then we could maybe duplicate this again. Try to create those little low end stabs. Because I think the sound of that would be really important. Let's see. I think we can get rid of the velocity for the low end patch. Maybe we change how often that reverb throwback happens as well. I think like maybe every 4 bars. Yeah, let's make it a lot shorter too. Okay, that sounds a little bit better. So let's go in here and get rid of the Actually, we could probably just copy paste it like this. I don't know why those sound off time. Let me mute the top layer. Maybe the timing. Oh, that's right. I quantized those to the wrong grid. That's why. What a doofus move. Straight dingus brain. I'm hearing like a bass fill, so let's go everyone gets dingus brain. Some of us more than others. I swear my brain has been severely dingused out this last week. Just feels so slow. Hold on. I think I need to keep it. I need to change the pattern for these hats a tiny bit, I think. Just a subtle little change. Where's that? Okay, let's go in here. I don't really know if this is better or not, but you know, it'd be cool actually. I don't really know. This may not work, but I kind of want to see if some of these samples, like old school, like vinyl. It's a really cool sample. May not really fit here, but hey, what's up? Ession, just a reminder, Chroma can retune it if it doesn't work in the tonality with transposition. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I don't really use Chroma too much currently, but I know for stuff like that it can be really useful. Ooh, wait, why does that sound like it could be a cool sampler lead thing? Instruments. Or actually, it could be cool in Serum potentially too. Why am I just randomly playing Nirvana? Sounds really cool up in those higher octaves for some reason. There's some like weird harmonics up there. I don't really know how to maybe there's like a pause on that downbeat, that first downbeat. So like this. I kind of like that actually. Actually, wait. That could be kind of cool leading into this. Like right here. Except obviously a half step up. Let's go back to this section over here. That actually could be a cool reverse going back into the downbeat. let's get the bass back in here. I'm not even gonna perform it though. I'm just gonna draw it in. Oh, the timing doesn't sound right. Mostly because these are not quantized, but wait, what? Oh my gosh. Sorry, this whole time my phone was battery is being drained. Yo, thank you for the follow, Benji. Okay, the part of the charm comes from the lack of quantization, but I'll have to own it in a little bit more, I think. Let's keep looking through some of these samples. Just want to try something here. I'm curious if I could like warp this somehow to match the... Let's go like this. And stretch it like this. It's kind of a cool layer in there, actually. Maybe we can find some samples to add to this area here. Let's pitch this. This might be a situation where chroma could be handy. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, I think there's too much stuff going on there. Dude, this one. I like that one actually. Hold on. And then what if we reversed it like from here? Woo! I like that. I was just gonna flip through some random little bass blips, but why am I'm just like coming up with way too many songs all at once. All right, maybe we have to do something from scratch, but I'm gonna try one more thing. I think I. This part's super messy. just gonna try to see if I can find a way to use this, this little patch. I think I want to just slow the speed of this LFO. Let's see. Wait, it's not even mono. What the hell? Oh, the glide on the freaking 358 milliseconds. That's close enough. Let me just record the MIDI and then I'll figure out if it'll work. It's gonna be pretty short, so I may need to adjust some of those settings a little bit. Yeah, let's make the glide like 255. Let's try that. There we go. That's a little bit better. Let's automate this filter movement or this EQ. Is this like being held or something? No, it doesn't look like it. It feels like it's the low end is like bleeding. Oh, that's why. It's that freaking... It's that reverb thing. It sounds cool the first gap, and then here it gets kind of in the way. There we go. That's better. See you later, Ramp6. Thanks for hanging out. I'm about to drink some water too. Thanks for the reminder. I find it super weird how, like, isn't it strange how when you're in a bad mood, like the little things can just like compound your anger. It's like sometimes if I'm like in a bad mood and I hear somebody like chewing food too close to me, it's like that would never bother me. But then I'm like hearing these mouth noises and it drives me crazy. Hold on, that's not quite right. It's a little bit cheesy, but honestly, there's some funk vocals, splice funk vocals that could actually help temporarily. Let's see. What are they called? It's the Delicious All-Star Funk Constructor. Oh! Misophania is a jerk? Is that what it's called?
Oh! Yeah!
I should just create... Hold on. I have an idea. Let's create a drum rack.
Oh!
Let's get every single one of these in the drum rack. And let's put them all in the same choke.
Get down, baby.
They're like, they're great, but they're also just like so a little bit cliche. I don't know if that sound makes it sound more negative, but just like it is a bit over the top.
Come on, come on.
I think in like very specific areas it'll work. Actually, like this one could be cool. I kind of want to throw an auto tune on here for no particular reason. What key are we in? I kind of forgot. E flat minor. Let's see, E flat minor.
Show feel fucking y'all. Listen to the horns play. Her hair. Her hair. Yeah. Listen to the organ play. Alright. Yeah, come on. In the guitar.
I don't know why it's cracking me up.
Yeah, the organ! Ho! Yeah, uh-huh! Hey, yeah! Poo! Poo!
What's flex tune?
Poo! Poo!
Ah, interesting. Okay, kind of softens the aggressiveness of the tuning.
Poo! 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 Poo!
Anyways, I don't know for sure that this is going to be useful, but
Hey, come on! Show! Come! Gilla!
I mean, this could be kind of cool on the ands.
Get down, baby!
The only one that I know that could work. Actually, I don't know that any of them could work. Yeah, whatever. I do think I'm going to slowly start winding down here. Jam for a few more minutes on this little chord progression here, and I'll probably be calling it, but I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. Aggressive autotune is always funny. I agree. I feel like the only thing that can make it even funnier is distortion. I'm gonna try to take a photo of some of the icicles around my house and upload them to Discord because it's pretty insane. Are any of you guys seeing some like ice dams and crazy icicles around your homes? Oh, I missed your earlier message, Art Nerd. Is this something built into Ableton where you can map samples and to keys? Yeah, that's not necessarily unique to Ableton. I think pretty much every DAW has some way of doing that. I actually didn't know you could do it in bulk the way I just did it earlier. Up until I think sometime last year, I learned that you could do that. All right, y'all. Reaching Nirvana status. Ascension. I think I'm going to call it here for today, y'all. I feel pretty decent about this session. Definitely like the idea of including some kind of triplet song like this in the album. Switch up the vibe a little bit. I do also like the other idea. Hold on, I should probably make sure I delete. What in the world? This is another different song. What is it? Oh yeah, this idea. I do like that. I'll do something with that as well, but I'm gonna make sure to separate that into a different project file. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today, I believe. I did just save. Thanks for reminding me, Junie. One question before you go. Did you have to do any special routing for OBS to get sample previews to play to stream? If you're curious about that, the main thing is, at least with Ableton, I'm sure every DAW has this. There's like a main output, and then there's like a cue output. So like this is particularly helpful if you're like a live performer and you want to hear the metronome, but you don't want the metronome to be heard by everyone in the crowd. Then there's like a separate routing mechanism for that. And in Ableton, there's like oh, sorry. Here, I'll switch to the main briefly to explain this. But in Ableton, there's this routing option here, which I have set to 910. And I have the cue output, the cue out, I guess is what it's called, is you can see in the little corner that it describes it in the bottom left, but I guess maybe you can't see that because my camera is there. It wasn't that complicated. You just want to make sure to send them to the same output for streaming, and then people can hear the browser sounds. But Delansky, thanks for the stream. It inspired me to lock in on the CYM remix some more. Nice. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't really get any word back, by the way, about that. I think my manager is kind of like on half vacation. I feel like anyone in the music industry knows there's no such thing as really being truly on vacation. So hopefully when he comes back, I could ask him to potentially reach back out again and reignite that conversation, because I was a little bummed that it fizzled out. But either way, that's going to be it for me for today, y'all. I hope y'all have a decent rest of your day, night, evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you're based. And I'll see you guys on Thursday. I'll be live at 1 p.m. I'm considering making up some time for last week. I wasn't very consistent last week with my hours, so hopefully I can try to make up a little bit this week. We shall see. But that's it for me for today. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Hope you enjoyed some of the random jams. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.
share? Do we know? We know what we share. Do we know? We know what we share. Do we know? We know what we share.